Daniel Cormier can't accept the idea that Jon Jones would avoid Tom Aspinall. Jones has made waves in the MMA world by claiming he's not interested in a title unification bout with interim champion Aspinall ahead of his heavyweight title defense against Stipe Miocic at UFC 309 on Saturday at Madison Square Garden in New York. Put your hands up. According to Jones, Aspinall's efforts in the octagon have done nothing to make the bout more appealing, and the only fight that interests him at this point is against light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira, unless he retires at UFC 309. These comments have led some to suggest that Jones may have been avoiding a showdown with Aspinall. Despite his history with Bones, UFC Hall of Famer and analyst Cormier refuses to accept the idea, even if he doesn't like the reasoning of his rival and former two-time opponent Jones. Shogun, Rua, had to fight Jon Jones back then. Rampage, Jackson, had to fight Jon Jones back then. They were big names that fought him as young champions, and he was making a name for himself with all these legends. So when I came to him, he was a legend, Cormier said on his YouTube channel. He was already a legend in 2016, 2015. He became a legend in just 5 years because he beat all the greats before him. That's just sports history and entertainment history. Before Michael Jordan became Michael Jordan, he had to play against the Detroit Pistons, who won championships in the 80s. To get to the finals, he had to beat the Boston Celtics, who were on par with the Lakers. For the new guard to come along, the old guard must go through. So, Jon can say he's nobody, but is he really? He's a world champion. Honestly, he's a world champion. That's who he is. He's the number 2 heavyweight champion in the world. He's an interim master. He's not just a guy who does the job in the division. The guy who broke the divide. I think my biggest issue with this is the last statement, not giving him a chance to make a name for himself through me. But you have Jon Jones. I think most people still expect him to beat Tom Aspinall, or am I wrong? Are more people expecting Tom Aspinall to beat Jones? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the idea of Tom Aspinall beating Jon Jones? Cormier can't accept the idea that Jones is afraid of Aspinall or any other guy, given that he spent nearly 15 years at the top of the sport. But he's more convinced of the idea of risk management and believes Jones is ultimately playing the game to get more money from the UFC. Look, Jon Jones isn't afraid of Tom Aspinall, Cormier said. I wish people would stop saying things like that. He's not afraid of this guy. He's not afraid of anybody. He's not afraid to fight this guy. He didn't. I think he's trying to be more strategic. He's trying to make sure his legacy is intact. I don't know if it'll ever go away. I know our memories are short, but can we ever forget what he did? I don't think it's a bad thing for him to go up against Tom Aspinall and probably lose. But most people would expect him to win the fight. But at the end of the day, the old guard has to pass before the new guard can pass. Unless you play a different sport than everyone else. Everyone else does. Maybe Jones is different. I believe he'll negotiate publicly. He's going to get more money and get the UFC to say, we need this fight because the fans want it so badly, and they're going to give him a number he can't refuse. Cormier said he understands why Jones is keen to fight Pereira, given the stylistic advantage Jones has over the 205-pound champion. But with Aspinall's presence, he doesn't like the whole perspective of what's going on.